He always plays the Kennedys, right?
Yeah, that's how he started his career, playing Kennedy.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Blow me, Marilyn.
That never happened.
No.
Kennedy was a great guy.
Never. It's always that you get the giantest star in the world to sing happy birthday to you in front of your wife. Totally normal.
I smoked dope in J. Edgar Hoover's car after he died.
I wish it was before he died.
Yeah,
with
I know.
J. Edgar Hoover, and you guys were sharing wigs.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, tell us.
A buddy of mine's dad was an FBI agent after J. Edgar Hoover died. He had a car in a limousine, his own limousine in Miami. He was going to drive it up to Washington to be in, who was the president at the time? Gerald Ford's motor pool. And he had the car over his house one night. I said to him, we got to smoke dope back there.
How old are you around this thing?
I was in college,
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Miami-Dade Community College, and then I went to, what are you laughing at? You're from Miami, so what?
That's where she went.
Miami, you went to Miami-Dade Community
Yes,
College?
say yes, stupid.
No, you don't have to lie. No, they had a great theater department there. You studied there. Okay, I went there. It saved my life, community college.
He was asked to bury books. And he realized there's something to this Miami-Dade Community College.
A friend of mine's attitude died, and he asked me to bury it. No, but they had a theater department. They had a theater. I came from all-white Catholic institutions to Miami-Dade, which was multi-ethnic, every kind of freak in the world.
Are you that comic going on stage? You going to do an act?
No, I wasn't a comedian then. I wanted to be an actor.
Oh,
but then I went to Florida State. I got my degree in theater.
You ever heard of Sidney Poitier, man?
No, never heard of him.
Yeah,
The nuns at school, when he was nominated for an Oscar, said, you go home and you pray that Sidney Poitier wins that Oscar, because that'll be huge. Yeah, what do you look at? Are you Catholic?
She's enjoying your stories.
No, okay. No, she's looking at me like, what the hell is going on?
Well,
so my friend, I go over to the house late at night, like 1 a.m. He sneaks the keys off his dad's, end table, and we go out, sat in the back of the car and smoked a couple bowls, and we took a little bit of weed, a tiny bit of weed, and stuck it down on the radio buttons inside. So, Gerald Ford's going to be holding, man. Yeah! High-fiving each other.
That's why he tripped.
Yeah. I guess.
That's why he tripped getting off Air Force One, because he was high on you and your buddy's little nub.
Well, back in 74, 75, whenever it happened, can you look up when J. Edgar Hoover died?
Sure.
That was a cool thing, And this is the first time.
J. Edgar Hoover dying was a cool thing.
And this is the first time I've told the story.
It's a cool story now.
Yeah.
If you and I right now smoked a bowl in one of J. Edgar Hoover's cars, it would be as cool to me as it was to you in 1974.
That's what I like. The Catholic Church hasn't matured you, and I like that.
Well, I mean,
you still get off on that.
Well, yeah.
Don't you ever grow up, Jay Mohr.
Why would you?
I don't know.
I mean, you can go to Dodger Stadium for a day game, but if you go to Dodger Stadium baked for a day game, it's an entirely different day game. It's a day game, man.
I'm going this Saturday.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Cardinals.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah.
David Freese, my bar. Did you get my text?
Yes, I did. I cracked up. It was very funny.
What were you doing in the sports book in Vegas? Oh, you were watching the Cardinals. Where were you playing? Were you playing Harrah's?
Yeah, I was playing Harvey's up at Lake Tahoe.
Oh, really?
Improv, yeah.
Is that a good room?
Yeah, it's a really good room.
Because I've never been up there.
And I just bet one game. I just bet $20 on the Lakers, and they lost. So we're on the Nuggets. I took the Nuggets and the points, and they lost.
How about Floyd Mayweather will tweet his gambling stubs? He bet $1.2 million on the Clippers against the Grizzlies, the game where they came back down 27 points, and that fucking prick won. It was
my God.
You can look at Floyd Mayweather's page on Twitter, @FloydMayweather, and all the photos are just of gambling stubs. But he
had to lose. He's had to lose since then. I mean, gambler like that.
He never tweets it.
They never talk about it.
But
go to the racetrack. See all the winners at the racetrack. Missing teeth.
I love Dennis Miller's joke about Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. He goes, "You ever seen a group photo of these people? How'd you like to be lumped in with the rest of these winners? You thought there were a lot of zeros in the prize."
Oh,
he was my favorite because he was a wordsmith, and that was when I started 86, 87. It was hit him. There was a rhythm to it, da 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 da, and then there was a tag, and then there was a tag.
Did you see his first Letterman?
I did not.
Oh,
when he was a prop act.
Who, Dennis?
He
No.
was a prop act on Star Search.
Who? Dennis Miller?
Dennis Miller was a fucking prop act. So for all the pomposity and ego and looking down the nose he does at you listening, just know that at one time he said, "My act's in my car. I'll be right with you."
No. Dennis doesn't look down at me. Dennis is a fan. Dennis helped me out. My first
Hey, I gotta tell you, man.
Really?
No, he hates me.
Why does he hate you?
I don't know. Because, all right, if I had to track it like Catherine Morris in Cold Case, I would say.
By the way, all your references. Where do you get time for this stuff? Everything sticks to you. You have an amazing mind.
Thank
You can just pull out these references and quotes from films and your impersonations. Do you watch television a lot?
No, I think it's like comics. Things you like, you remember.
Okay.
Like if I sat here and asked you about your favorite Cardinal moments and numbers and Stan Musial's stats, you would just tell them to me by rote. And somebody that's not a baseball fan would go, "How do you guys remember that?" It's because we love baseball. We love Stan the Man. He's
but you come up
the
with
third greatest living baseball player.
You have these like characters in your head. It's quick. You come up with. I'm not that kind of guy.
You're not that.
No, I admire that.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
Miller was the first guy that I went, "Oh my God, this is a totally different language," and it's okay sometimes to make just 20% of the audience laugh, to get sidetracked, say something super way out, do a Twyla Tharp reference, know that 80% of the room isn't going to get it, but that 20% is going to lose their shit and always come back and see you again because you touched them up on those several references that were just for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
and then get it back on track to do the rest of the show.
And sometimes when people that don't know Twyla Tharp hear it, it fits right in, and they laugh anyway because it's a rhythm that he set up.
And it's his own rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when he was doing Monday Night Football, I was asked by Sports Illustrated, "How do you think it's working out?" And that's the thing, and we'll tie it back into the Eddie Brill. You don't know it's a chopped piece. Here, if anybody says, "We're doing an article about blank and we'd like to get a couple quotes from you," just say no. Because a month later, the article's going to come out that this guy, touches his sister when she's sleeping, and you're fucking quoted going, everything he does, I agree with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So they asked me how I thought, and I said, I think it's working out, but it's tough for him because Joe Sixpack probably doesn't know about the Monroe Doctrine and the difference between Adrian Zemed and Denny Terrio, and they don't want to I forget how I put it. They probably don't want to wade through the verbiage during what they're saying with their eyes. And that was just a part of a long compliment. They took that part and they put it up with like, Jimmy Kimmel, it's a fucking disaster. Like another guy, he sucks. So I was just lumped. It was a column, a sidebar of how it sucks. And then ever since then, he's got no love for the kid.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I will say this. I got love for him. He's one of the greatest comics that ever lived and completely changed the way I fundamentally changed my approach to comedy.
It's amazing how we are affected by individual comedians and how they can. When I saw, and I don't watch my old specials, but I saw part of my old special one night a little bit, and I go, wow, Carson. I could definitely see the influence. Always my father, because my father was a great storyteller, but I probably been more affected by Carson than anyone.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not obvious like that guy's doing Johnny Carson, but I look at it, I go, God, there's a lot of Carson there.
Who else?
Carlin, I would say.
Like who changed the way you even approached it? Or did your approach stay Alan's approach?
No, my approach changed. I went down to visit my dad. He was dying. This is 1984, and we were talking one night, and he was talking about how he should have gone to New York like I did. I think my dad was a frustrated performer, and we were watching Carson all those years. I had the dream of doing that, and my dad's dream was leaving him. You know what I mean? And I looked at my dad, and I said...
I don't know what you mean. I'm
okay,
sorry.
all right. I'm 8 years old, and I'm watching Carson, and I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is a show business. I want to get into show business. My dad's sitting next to me. He's got 4 kids. He's married. He's leasing cars and trucks. And every night he watches, he realizes it's not going to happen for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this is something he should have done. So
like a Springsteen song.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And, of course, I didn't know that then, but looking back, I said, my dad loved it, but it was getting further and further away from him.
It was just out of reach.
Yeah.
Now it's way out of reach. And now it's just this ephemeral thing that...
Yeah, he still digs it, but he saw the desire.
So did he live
had.
vicariously through you and your successes?
He was very proud of me, but I would come home sometime, and this is when I was in New York, and I was already professional. I'd come home, and he would start arguments with me. And I go, what's wrong with Dad? And my mom said, I think he's a little jealous.
Yeah.
Because as he saw me go to New York and do it and become successful, he realized I could have done it. You know, it doesn't happen to other people. It wasn't just a crazy dream, you know. And he got enjoyment out of his son, but I think a part of him was like, damn, I could have
only
done
I'd
that.
taken that first step.
Yeah, if I had left St. Louis and gone to New York, because my dad was a funny guy. He was a performer. He could sing. He was a great public speaker. At the Catholic Church, he was the commentator.
Look, I don't want to hear about your religious bullshit, man. I'm just sick and tired of you beating that drum.
But when my father, watching him that last night, one of our last nights together, I realized someday I'm going to be sitting there, you know. And I go, what do I have to lose? What? And I went back to New York, and I dropped a lot of stuff I was doing, and it became more raw and real. And other comedians said, wow, this is good. So that changed me. I think it really, really helped
Watching
me.
the frustration of your father
And my father dying.
dreams evaporate.
But also him, I'm going to die one day. I'm going to be sitting where my dad is one day.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You don't think so?
I don't
Everlasting
use-
life?
I think you are going to live forever like Coco in fame. The Dennis Miller joke. I think he filmed in D.C. Mr. Miller goes to Washington, and he goes, I was late getting here. It's because the kids from Fame had broken out into an impromptu dance number in the promenade. You know, they are going to live forever, especially that Coco.
It's so nice. I haven't listened to Dennis in a long time, and now I'm with Jay and Dennis. It's a
So,
beautiful
Matt,
thing.
there's a hoofer, huh? I haven't seen choreography that stiff since the Lee Harvey Oswald prison transfer. Don't you love the fact that Jack Ruby got into the garage that day? Hey, boss, the guy that owns the local titty bars here, he's got a handgun. Should we let him in? Yeah, let him in. Who the fuck were they turning away?
I was watching television with my dad, or my dad was watching. He goes, Alan, get out here. They're moving Oswald. This is history. Get out here.
Your dad was Louis Anderson?
Hey,
Alan, are you busy, huh?
No, that's not the voice.
I know.
All right.
It was just close.
So I walk out there. I'm a 9-year-old kid.
All right, so they're moving Oswald where he eventually got shot.
Yeah, but this is before that.
And your family really seems to have had a sense of historical and cultural significance as it was unfolding. Your family was fucking salient and prescient.
My dad was on top of things, you know.
Wow, like, let's go to the airport, JFK's Landing.
Yeah, he pulled us out of school. Didn't ask another. He said, "I need the kids," because he didn't want to ask. He said, "You know, they're going to see the president. I want my children to see the president."
And I'm fascinated by this because to be raised, my family was very loving and great, and it was very suburban in New Jersey, leafy Jersey. You know, the Little League parts, not the toxic waste part. You know,
Planetarium softball teams.
It's got nice parts.
Yeah.
But
Jersey's beautiful.
But my family certainly didn't have that. Like they were not about politics. They voted, and that's about it. And
Yeah.
my dad would never tell me who he voted for. Like, what a fucking prick!
Really?
That's my right. I don't have to tell you who I voted for. I'm like, all right, I'm 11. Maybe you could just tell me why, and I could shape an opinion of the globe through your eyes. That was his chance to mold me, and he blew it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my dad was not shy. He was an advice giver outer to strangers.
Did he give good advice?
Most of the time, yeah.
Was it free advice?
It was always free.
That's really the important part about giving advice. Don't charge for it.
No, he didn't charge a dime.
You gotta give free advice if you're giving advice at all.
When I came home and said, "Hey, Dad, the nuns at school," because he made us watch the Holocaust films when I was like 8. Get out here, Bernice. My mom's name was Bernice. Bernice, just the kid should see this, you know.
And he was right.
Yes, he was right. It wasn't Schindler's List. It wasn't a dramatization. It was the actual
They
films.
were stacked like fucking fireworks.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And so I saw that as a kid. I came home one day and said, Dad, the nun at school said non-Catholics don't go to heaven. And my dad was a big smoker, smoked like the Industrial Revolution. He goes, Alan, Christ was a Jew. You figure it out. And that was his way. That was his way of saying they're full of shit.
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, he goes, "Get out here! They're moving Oswald." And my mom goes, "Charlie, God damn it!" He never said God, never got G-O-T. God damn it, Bernice! Kid needs to see it's history. Get out here, and sure enough, boom. We got shot. I'm just sitting there, you know, I'd never seen anyone get shot on television before or anywhere.
Right.
And my dad gets up, "They shot him! God damn, Bernice, get out here! They shot him! Get the gun!" My dad, "Charlie, get..." And he asked me to bury it. No, but they had a theater department. They had a theater. I came from all-white Catholic institutions to Miami-Dade, which was multi-ethnic, every kind of freak in the world.
Are you that comic going on stage? You going to do an act?
No, I wasn't a comedian then. I wanted to be an actor.
Oh, you
But
that
then I went
actor.
to Florida State. I got my degree in theater.
You ever heard of Sidney Poitier, man?
No, never heard of him.
Yeah, they got to be...
The nuns at school, when he was nominated for an Oscar, said, "You go home and you pray that Sidney Poitier wins that Oscar, because that'll be huge." Yeah, what do you look at? Are you Catholic?
She's enjoying your stories.
No, okay. No, she's looking at me like, what the hell is going on?
Well, because
so my friend, I go over to the house late at night, like 1 a.m. He sneaks the keys off his dad's, end table, and we
Gun
go out,
rack.
sat in the back of the car and smoked a couple bowls, and we took a little bit of weed, tiny bit of weed, and stuck it down on the radio.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Miami-Dade Community College, and then I went to. What are you laughing at? You're from Miami, so what?
That's where she went.
Miami. You went to Miami-Dade Community
Yes.
College?
Say yes. Stupid.
No, you don't have to lie. No, they had a great theater department there. You studied there. Okay, I went there. It saved my life. Community college.
He was asked to bury books, and he realized there's something to this Miami-Dade Community College.
A friend of mine's attitude died.
He always plays the Kennedys, right?
Yeah, that's how he started his career, playing Kennedy.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Era, blow me, Marilyn.
That never happened.
No.
Kennedy was a great guy.
Never. It's always that you get the giantest star in the world to sing happy birthday to you in front of your wife. Totally normal.
I smoked dope in J. Edgar Hoover's car after he died.
I wish it was before he died.
Yeah,
with
I know.
J. Edgar Hoover, and you guys were sharing wigs.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, tell us.
A buddy of mine's dad was an FBI agent after J. Edgar Hoover died. He had a car in a limousine, his own limousine in Miami. He was going to drive it up to Washington to be in, who was the president at the time? Gerald Ford's motor pool. And he had the car over his house one night. And I said to him, we got to smoke dope back there.
How old are you around this thing?
I was in college.